Zubie, you got me?
I gotcha. It's playing. You can't hear the music?
Oh, there we go. You got me now, Zubie?
I had you the whole time.
That was totally my fault. 100% my fault. Little button that had to be pushed that was not pushed.
Classic.
Have we started? Do you think anyone noticed?
Not at all.
Okay. Oh boy, if this is a sign of things to come, folks, hang on to your hats for tonight's show. It's been an absolute train wreck right from the very start. Welcome to Got Your Back. So glad you could tune in tonight. This could be a fun one tonight. It's Sunday night, right? Everybody's feeling a little loose, a little chill. Week of the regular season starting, but we're not there yet, so we don't have to take things too seriously. I'm going to update you on McDavid, and then you can all yell at me that it's not the update you wanted or that it's not good enough. Looking forward to that. We'll talk a little bit about the Oilers today. We got the Zubiewed game, and we're going to have lots of fun with our friend Jason Strudwick, who is MIA tonight. As always, our show brought to you by our title sponsor, Timber House Developments. Have you ever considered adding a garden suite or laneway home for aging parents or loved ones? The team at Timber House can design and build the perfect space for your property with a focus on naturally inspired living. They create warm, thoughtful spaces that enhance the lives of your loved ones and provide an oasis to help them age in place. Visit timberhouse.ca. The wood is on the floor, ready to go up on the wall here in the Timber House studio. Looking forward to a transformation coming up this week. As we say, good evening to Chris Sabunia and to Rob Brown. Zubie, I've been throwing you curveballs left, right, and center. It's a miracle we got to air within 3-4 minutes of our start time. That was a little hairy, bud. A lot of things thrown at you last minute.
You were harder to hit than you savage today. Holy cow. You certainly threw more curveballs, harder stuff to hit, and that guy struck out 11 or whatever, so 12, I think. So, yeah, no, it's all good. I feel a little, I don't know, even just when you said the wood is on the floor, I don't know, I feel like this is one of those, it's going to get giddy here tonight. On this show.
Yeah,
I don't know, that tickled me.
Yeah, I'm in one of those moods. Brownie, how are you doing, buddy? Look at you, just chill. You're steady. You're available. You're a rock on this show. You show up when you say you're going to show up. It's impressive, Brownie. It really is.
Yeah, I know. I'm like the fourth or fifth wheel. I understand that. And when Jason needs to move it back a little bit, we move it back a little bit. When Jason says he'll be here on a Monday or a Sunday and he doesn't show up, it's okay. We can survive it. Poor Zubie had so many things he had to do today because, as we can see, Jason didn't show up again. He decided that dinner down at Wendy's was more important than hanging out with us. So I hope he's enjoying himself and all the pressure that he put on us. But we just understand where his loyalties lie. Yeah, his loyalties. They don't lie with us. But
do you know what, buddy? I just think it's important you remember this feeling that you're having right now. It's important you remember this feeling when you do brownie points a little bit later on in the show. So just remember the frustration, the disappointment, how he doesn't want you on the show and then can't show up for the show himself. Just remember these things when you're doing brownie points tonight. So where is Jason Strudwick, right? That's the question. Well, Struds first said he wasn't going to be able to do the show tonight. We were like, no problem. We'll do it a different night. Then he was like, guys, I can make it. I'm going to be back from dinner by 9. We are good to go. He was super proud of himself. Right. So then I get a phone call at 8:34. That's like, yeah, hey, Shocker. Yeah, this isn't going to work. It's just this dinner is not what I was expecting. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It's not going to work. So a bail we were within what, 25, 30 minutes of the show, Zubie? Mm-hmm. That's a late, hard bail.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I could check the timing of the actual. Well, did he call you and then send that message, or how did that go?
Yeah, he called me first. He had a similar tone in his voice to when he called me to let me know he'd booked a holiday that started Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. There was a similar sort of sheepishness, like kind of just like a few apologies and kind of yeah, sorry, man, sorry, man, sorry, buddy. A lot of sorry buddies in there. So we forgive you, Jason, and here's why.
No, we don't.
Your lovely wife, Shona, just has a way. Well, Brownie, just wait. you might be in a more forgiving mood because we were given a gift tonight. We were given an absolute gift tonight by his absolutely amazing and wonderful wife, Shona. She knew what happened tonight. She knew that the show would be struggling for content. And so she, out for dinner with Jason tonight, provided us with this. Zubie, if you're listening on podcast form, folks, get to YouTube. This is Jason Strudwick tonight wearing this shirt in public, Brownie.
Is he wearing the tablecloth? Like, I think we got that exact same tablecloth we're using for Thanksgiving dinner. Wow.
Wow.
That,
I mean, just let it breathe. Just let it breathe. Like, wow.
I'd like more context. Are they at like a cowboy bar or something? Then it's fine. No.
Actually, you know what? I don't know how his friends would feel. I'm just gonna look and see the rest of the picture. Okay, I'm gonna hold this up. Look at the way everyone else at the table is dressed. Look at Struds. Look at this. Doesn't stand out at all. You guys see that? Everybody else is like black t-shirt, dress sweater, whatever. And they're Struds.
He looks a little bigger in that picture too. Is it me or is he wearing a child's medium shirt? I mean, that thing is tight on him.
It's tight. It's tight. And the button done way, way up high. Like that button. Zubie, bring it up again, man. One more time. Bring that button up.
Let's see.
Oh, man.
All he does, Schauger, is just reaffirm everything that Henry Lundqvist said about him. Like, he was spot on when he talked about his dressing. Wow. Struddy. Well, actually, you know what? I love showing him, but how did she let him go out looking like that? This is part
Well, I texted her. I said, let me see if she answered. She probably didn't. She's having dinner. She's not rude like him. He's on his phone while he's at dinner. I said, did you guys fight on the way out the door about that shirt? A couple of comments from our amazing, always incredible YouTube stream here. Struddy will now forever be listed as pod time decision. Very undependable. Matt Blom says, thick Struddy. Stephen Petrick says, oh my word. Allison 941, he looks like a cushion at my grandma's house.
Oh, nice.
Zubie, what's going on with your comments, Zubie?
I thought I fixed it in the Weiss Johnson one, but somehow that carried over to here too. So it's
Induced Comics. Induced Comics says, is Struds bulking? No, he's just wearing smaller shirts. Some stranger. Oh boy.
Him. Yes.
Bill Monroe could be a Montana's tablecloth. Shane Matheson, that's from the 1980s. Unfortunate Son. He looks like N64 graphics, like a character in GoldenEye.
That's very good.
Jinsey Ruse kind of looks like a linebacker.
Non-player character. It's a weird scene sitting. Yeah, that's totally what he looks like.
Yeah.
Because his head's looking a little cubic there as well.
He's straight out of Roblox.
Yeah.
That's a Roblox pattern on that shirt. Oh my God. Does he have an axe and a big blue ox? Okay. How about this handle? Have we heard this handle before, Zubie? Who Shattenkirk's pants? Who Shattenkirk's pants?
A long time ago. That person hasn't been here in a while.
Wow.
Or do you want to say
who
the comment?
Shattenkirk's pants? Comes in and says, are those bacon strips on that shirt? Is that a 2D shirt? Says Colin Williams. Oh, man.
Thank you, Shona. Thank you very much.
You better send that photo to the Overdrive, guys. Already done. Jamie McLennan immediately responded saying, is he wearing the tablecloth? Is he wearing slippers? Bill Monroe says 80s RV interior. Why was it taken with a fisheye lens? Says
he looks like cousin Eddie. Wasn't it Cousin Eddie that was in the Griswolds? Isn't that what the guy that drove the trailer? That's who he looks like.
That's
Just
bang on.
Cut.
I have to say, that's bang on. I'm bringing this back up because the Coleman tent trailers. If you ever had a Coleman tent trailer, those are the cushions.
Oh my God. Those are 100%.
That is the exact cushions of a tent trailer.
Yeah, but why is the pattern kind of broken around the shoulder? It's like there's like a You know what I mean? It's not like all the same pattern. It's like there's a spot that was patched out and he just sewed on there. Look where the pattern's broken, right on the shoulder. Oh my goodness. Unfortunate Son says, I'm having a good laugh tonight. Allison 941 says, couldn't commit to a smile either. Do we have to talk any Oilers? Can we just not talk any McDavid and just do this all night? Oh, boy.
I've got more if we want to tee up the Zubie. We could also go into the what do you want to call it? The challenges we'll have with the Zubiewed game tonight.
Yeah. Go ahead, Zubie.
I have an anecdote to share about that. You set up how we're going to do it, and then I'll just throw this in here because this is amazing.
Well, so we're going to play the Zubiewed game, which means Brownie and I get the questions ahead of time, and we say what we think Struds is going to say. By the way, we're still doing this. And then Struds hears the questions in real time and just answers them. And then Brownie and I get points, right? It's a Zubiewed game. It's a classic. Everybody knows the rules. Yeah, we're one step away from being able to buy this in stores. It's such a hit. But now Struddy, who's the subject of the Zubiewed game, bailed on the show. Zubie.
Yeah, and so what we decided we'd do is you guys have the questions you're going to predict. I texted him the questions directly for him, so I'll have his answers, but only I'll see them, so I'll deliver them as Struddy. But in the text, he said, go ahead and text them to me, but he's just trickling the answers into me. Like, I still don't even have them all. So then I texted him. I said, tell me you're texting me these under the table at your dinner party. And he said, exactly. That's what he's doing. So that's why the answers are just trickling in, because he's like trying to surreptitiously send the answers to these questions.
Well, we'll just keep pushing the Zubiewed game back as far as we have to push it back for you to get all the answers.
He's only He's only got 3 more to do. Okay. So he's got about 15 minutes for that.
All right, we're off the rails in a big way, and we don't care. Sunday night, who cares? It's not even the regular season yet. So whatever happens for the next 60 or 70 minutes, whatever. Let's get to our breakdown, though, and talk some hockey, brought to you by the Canadian Brewhouse. During every Oiler game day at the Canadian Brewhouse, enter at any Edmonton and area location for your chance to win Oiler home game tickets. Plus, enjoy $1 off Molson Canadian and Coors Light tankers. Edmonton-born, Canadian-operated, 48 locations across Canada. Okay, Brownie, we're just going to do a quick little Connor McDavid update because there were I got like 15 friends reached out and everybody's like, is there a press conference Monday? Is there a press conference Monday? Kevin Carius made mention of the fact that he was hosting something on Monday that got bumped to Tuesday in the Hall of Fame room. I think he left it at that. And, of course, people hear him say that and immediately want to start speculating that there's a major press conference scheduled for the Oilers, and everybody makes the leap that it's going to be a Connor McDavid extension and such and such. So I put out a tweet today. I'm here to tell you, unless something dramatically changes in the next couple of hours, there's no press conference tomorrow involving Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers, and there is no contract announcement likely to come tomorrow in terms of something official that would require a press conference. They had the rodeo in there over the weekend. The crew tearing everything out of the building had to work crazy hours to get it all done. So they gave everybody the day off Monday. I mean, that's basically what happened. And that's why that event that was supposed to be there got bumped to Tuesday. That's what happened. So there's no press conference, Brownie. What I can tell you is this. I think there was probably going to be some dialogue between the two sides today. Still no decision made by McDavid on what this was going to be as of today. And still multiple options are on the table. And I know that's frustrating to people, but that's just where this is at. And so that's where this thing sits. Still deciding, some conversation happening, but no crazy rush. They're not putting an artificial deadline on this. The start of the regular season, not whatever. They've been very methodical. They're not panicking because the season's coming. And I think there may be a push here, and we'll see what that yields, whether that yields anything or not. But that's kind of the update, Brownie. And when you tweet that, people get really, really pissed at you. But I don't care. We got a job to do.
Well, it's funny that, there's no update, so there really isn't anything to talk about because nothing's really changed since yesterday, since a week before, since 2 weeks ago, since July 1st. I don't understand it. I don't know why it would take so long. But then again, if an owner offered me or a GM offered me a contract, I would sign it before he changed his mind. We are all different than Connor McDavid. So I don't know what's going through his mind, and there's no reason for any of us to guess. He will make a decision, whether it's a 1 year, 2 year, 8 year, or no year. And when he makes that decision, he'll tell us all. And at that point, you either worry or you cheer. And until then, it's just he's signed for the Oilers this year, and the focus for everyone right now should be the Oilers trying to win a Stanley Cup.
Well, and I've talked about this before, that there isn't really, in the absence of him just knowing what he wants and saying, this is what I want, I'm doing it. If he's not there yet in his head, I think it's important for the agent and for the people around him to kind of not say, like, it's okay not to rush, right? Because the truth is, let's say he felt some sort of panic to get it done by the start of the season, and he's like, well, okay, fine, I'll do a 2-year deal. Like, okay, if I have to, if there's this big rush and there's this, fine, 2 years, right? Well, what if you wait until December and he's like, yeah, you know what? I'm good for 5. Like, really, whatever reason I was feeling before, why rush him, right? Like, if his headspace, you got to wait until he's in the right headspace to make the call. He wants to be in the right headspace to make the call. And there's no reason to rush it. So maybe down the road, it ends up being a longer term deal, and it just took a little bit longer for him to settle into that thought process. So as much as
but it also could go the other way, Schauger. It could go the other way. In December, he decides, you know what? Things aren't going the way I wanted here, and the pressure, maybe I don't re-sign. So that's why everyone is waiting and hoping, and fingers are crossed. And but at the end of the day, there has been he has said it's going to take time right from the very beginning. So this is exactly what he told us. And until something changes, it's a story that's a non-story, and the non-story, unfortunately, is the story. So we will. We're all probably surprised that if they drop the puck on Wednesday to start the season, if he's not signed, I would think all of us would be surprised had you told us that on June 25th or 26th. But now it's like, well, I guess there's only 3 days until that happens. It's looking more like that. So odd, but Eichel still isn't signed in Vegas. Now that might come sooner. I don't know. That's a huge one for the Vegas Golden Knights. He's not Connor, but he's their best player. So it's not just the Edmonton Oilers that right now are waiting for their best player to sign a contract.
Yeah. It's funny, like people just get really frustrated. And I know it's not the update that you want necessarily, but there's a few things that are important when you got a high profile player that, needs a contract. So the first question, is the contract done? And is there a plan to announce it? Like, what's going on, right? So we stay up to speed on that. The answer to that is no. Okay, the next question, where are they at in negotiations? Are the two sides talking, right? Well, the answer to that, of course, yes, and probably talking as recently as today. And, then it becomes about what's this likely to look like, and some speculation and such. But really, that's where the reporting is right now. The decision hasn't been made yet, and nothing is finalized. And McDavid and his camp have basically said all along they're going to take the time they need. So that's going to be a little bit more time. Now, we'll see if something changes. We'll see. I mean, who knows? They could still be on the phone tonight, and you never know what happens, right? And it'll probably be pretty fast once it does change. If they do decide to get something done, it'll probably happen pretty fast. Why not get all that done and announced before the start of the season? So, people are just like, no update, and frustrated about that. But it's our job to stay up to speed on where things are at. And if the simple fact is that there's no press conference planned and that no decision has been made, that's going to be the update. And that's what it is here tonight. Okay, Brownie, let's get to the ice today. So a couple of notable pieces of news out of practice today. Max Jones ends up on waivers. We kind of expected that to happen. He signed down to the American Hockey League, was hurt through the back half of the exhibition schedule. He is on his way down. Matthias Janmark banged up 1 to 2 weeks. And Jake Wallman also has had a setback. Here's a quick comment here in our Weiss Johnson soundbox from Chris Knobloch.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a setback. And we anticipate he'd be able to, for sure, play on Wednesday. But now it's looking questionable on Wednesday, and we're definitely hoping Saturday will be up.
Is this going to go on IR?
Janmark's, I'm not sure what the actual term will be. He's probably out for 1 to 2 weeks, so that's probably not long-term injury reserve. But so we're looking for about a week, maybe 2 for Janmark.
That was our Weiss Johnson Soundbox, brought to you by Weiss Johnson Heating and Air Conditioning. Their end-of-sale AC sale is on now. Their end-of-season AC sale. It's on until the end of October. Get up to 20% off any in-stock air conditioners. Go to the website, wjjingle.com. Please remember that, wjjingle.com, for exclusive specials just for Got Your Back Jingle lovers. wjjingle.com.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Okay, line adjustments, Brownie. What we saw today, McDavid and Draisaitl still with Trent Frederic, but Savoy gets elevated next to Nugent Hopkins and Andrew Mangiapane at practice today. And we'll see if these lines hold. They're going to be off the ice tomorrow. They'll practice Tuesday, and then obviously the game is Wednesday. But a little elevation and a flip-flop there for Savoy. Brownie, what do you think?
I like it. I thought Savoy was excellent in the last game in Vancouver. I thought he outplayed Howard in that game. I like to see Savoy play in the top 6 in an offensive situation. I think he can add offensively, but he also is a very safe and dependable defensive player. To me, that's not a surprise. I am still a little surprised about Frederic on the first line. They've had 3 games together. In one of those games, it was good. The other 2, I thought Frederic was very, very quiet. And when Frederic plays on the first line, in the 3 games he's played with them, he's had it's either 0 or 1 hit total in those 3 hits. And that's not on him. It's just Connor and Leon don't dump the puck in. That's not their style. So you take away the aggressiveness of Trent Frederic, and you take away one of his strengths, which is on the forecheck, being physical, big body checks. To me, I really enjoyed when Mangiapane played with Leon and Connor just for little bits in the Vancouver game. I thought he created. So I was a little surprised that Frederic stayed there. But not surprised at all about Savoy, and I'm excited to see what he can do in a top 6 line where he's going to get opportunities offensively.
I think late in the exhibition season, Brownie, when teams were icing full lineups, Savoy continued to stand out and look fast, right? And a lot of times, early in exhibition, guys kind of stand out a little bit if they're good skaters. And we've seen Savoy at the NHL level before. But I thought he stood out even when the competition level went up. And I think of all those players, he left you feeling in exhibition maybe like, okay, he looks like he's ready to transition to regular season hockey and have a chance to actually be able to make a bit of an impact in the early days, Brownie.
Well, I know that Chris Knobloch talked about it when they were asked about Savoy's offensive production in the preseason. He said it's too small a sample size. And as a player, you don't always judge your game, especially if you're an offensive player, on whether you score or whether you create an offense or you get a goal or an assist. You don't look at that. You look at the chances, because eventually everything evens out. And in that game in Vancouver, the 2 best scoring chances, 2 great scoring chances Savoy had. He had one in front of the net, and it was a great save by Demko. Then he got the partial breakaway, and that was he created all himself with his speed. And so there were 2 grade A scoring chances. They didn't go in. But you got to think if he keeps getting those chances, and he'll get those playing in the top 6, playing with Nugent Hopkins, playing with Mangiapane, and eventually, because he is a skilled player, those will find the back of the net. So I think that's what they liked about Savoy's game, is he was getting chances, and he's noticeable in all aspects of the game. So yeah, I do like the fact that he moved up in the lineup.
So how do you handle a younger player acclimating himself to the National Hockey League who's bound to make mistakes? Chris Knobloch's talked about that before. You have to expect that from young players. Here's Savoy's headspace back in the Weiss Johnson Soundbox on making mistakes as a young guy.
When you're a young guy, that's a lot of guys' mindset. Don't make mistakes. Kind of play the system to a T. So I think that's really good. But you also got to play a little bit of your game and do the things that you do well that got you to this level. So I think my speed's a big asset that I have, and I'm just looking to skate out there and show that.
Jay Woodcroft was not patient enough with Dylan Holloway's young mistakes. Just saying it flat out. He was not nearly patient enough with a very good young player's mistakes. I'm really going to be interested to see Chris Knobloch's patience level with Savoy, because there are going to be some, Brownie, but I think it's going to be much, much better. With a 3-year contract sitting in his hip pocket, you have the ability to comfortably, without even a second thought, maybe let it ride a little with a guy in the early going of a season.
And not only Holloway, Broberg too. Every time Broberg
Yeah.
made a mistake, he never got a shift after that. And well, both players moved on. You've got to allow the player to be who he is. There's a reason that Savoy was traded for. There's a reason he was drafted in the top 10 in the National Hockey League. It's his offensive awareness. Offensive players, and if you know as well as I do, if you go at the end of the season, most giveaways or turnovers, it's always the best players that lead the league because they have the puck the most. So of course they're going to have more turnovers. Mistakes will be made. It's when a player makes a mistake, especially a young player, how does he react to it? Does it just handcuff him the rest of the game where now he's too nervous to make a play? Does he get down on the bench and then his next shift he's just dud out there because he's so worried or so upset that he made a mistake? Is he coachable? If you tell him, okay, here's what you did this time, next time, now you watch to see how he reacts. So you can't stop a player from being who he is, or why even having that player in the lineup? So yes, you've got to be patient. But the thing what I see with Savoy, I can see, and nothing against Howard, I can see Howard making the bigger mistakes as opposed to Savoy. I just think Savoy is a more rounded player. I think Howard has got higher upside offensively. I think Savoy is just built just the way he thinks the game. He's built the proper way. He plays more like a Nuge than he does where Howard maybe plays more like a Kessel. So it's like but having said that, you got to have the patience with a Howard too. You've got to let them be what they are. And if they make the mistakes, there's teaching moments. It's when they do it repeatedly and they don't learn from it. That's when you have to have some tough love.
For sure. And I think Savoy has already figured some things out that Ike Howard is about to learn. Things that just aren't going to work at this level that probably he could get away with in a Hobie Baker year in college, right? We saw a little bit in exhibition season, challenging a couple of guys at the offensive blue line, trying to make a move when the play was off the wall and get in on the forecheck, right? Because that might have worked for him a little bit ago, Brownie. So there's a learning process that if the Oilers want to start Howard in the NHL for being a professional, then those mistakes are going to happen in the NHL. They would happen in the AHL if he started there. So it's going to be a different kind of mistake, to your point, I think, than Savoy, because he's probably figured some of that out.
Well, the fact that Savoy played a full year in the minors, it's playing against men. And then just the taste that Savoy had last year, that was a great move, the Oilers bringing him up last year, having him play a few games just to see, okay, you play in the minors all year, playing against men, but watch when you get up here. Players are bigger, players are stronger, and more importantly, up here, the players are smarter. So you might be able to fool someone in the minors with this. You are not going to fool someone in the National Hockey League. And you can see in Savoy's game, he is smart. He does put the puck off the boards. He lets the puck do the work instead of trying to stick handle through someone. There's a great example. I know, and I think Howard's going to be a better player than him. But I remember when Robbie Schremp came here, high draft pick, superstar in I believe it was the Ontario Hockey League. And then he tried doing a lot of junior moves that did not work in the National Hockey League. Problem for him is he never learned. So I think Howard's a smart kid. He understands the opportunity he has here. And it's incumbent on him and the coaching staff to work through his mistakes, try to limit them, and then correct them. And if he can go out there and be coachable, well, then you're going to have a nice career here in Edmonton.
So as we said, Jones put on waivers today. Hart Levine, who does a fantastic job over at Puckpedia, put out a tweet today for those kind of wondering what the roster situation could look like for the Edmonton Oilers as they head towards the regular season. Sorry if that's a little bit small for you. And for those of you listening and didn't see the tweet, basically this is him saying, here's what the Oilers can do to get the roster ready. Tomaszek and Howard down, Janmark IR. Now, he's just suggesting this. This hasn't happened. Call up a $775K guy, unlikely to be on the team, like Hamblin. Have $834 cap space and submit opening roster. Add Hyman to LTIR, able to exceed cap by $3.8 million. By Wednesday, day 2 for cap purposes, call up Tomaszek, Howard, and send down extra $775K guy. Have $1.8 million cap space remaining in LTIR. So for those of you that love the cap geek stuff, then you know Puckpedia, this is the site for you. That's a lot of machinations and moving parts. But bottom line, you're going to see some guys being sent down, and you're going to scratch your heads a little bit here in the next 24 hours. We do believe that we do believe that Howard, Savoy will start up. We believe Regula will start up as well, especially with this news that Jake Wallman is going to be injured for a little bit here. So look for those moves to come tomorrow. And interesting to note that at practice today, Regula was paired with Darnell Nurse. ahead of Troy Stetcher. So, Brownie, this could trend in a way where Regula not only has played his way into potentially staying with the team because they're worried about waivers, he could end up in the lineup opening night.
Well, I got to be honest. I have him ahead of Emberson and Stetcher on my depth chart. For a number 6 defenseman, he has something neither of them have, and that is the size that he has. They obviously, we saw last year in the playoffs, Stetcher and Emberson were eventually replaced by Klingberg. He'd passed them on the depth chart. Klingberg's gone. You still have Emerson and Stetcher. Stetcher's has hit his ceiling. Stetcher, we know what Stetcher is as a defenseman. He got 500 games in the NHL. You've been around. This is who he is. And he's a wonderful 6'7", that you can use in a pinch and feel completely comfortable. Emberson, I'm not sure they know what they have there yet. I don't. Is his upside more than he's given so far? Still, I don't know. The one thing I know about Emerson, he gets hit too much, and that eventually wears you down as the season goes on. Regula, he's big, and it's intriguing. He can move the puck. He skates well, and everything we saw from in the preseason, you got to remember that he hasn't played in 12, 14, 16 months. So he's still he's not even up to speed yet. And in my opinion, he outplayed the other two, and that's not being up to speed. So I think of the three of them, he has the highest ceiling, and that's why I've got him higher on the depth chart than the other two.
Great analysis, Brownie. That was a breakdown brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. Right now, we're going to get to our UCAN Youth Services Relentless Player of the Day. Need reliable entry-level staff? UCAN trains Edmonton youth with the skills and confidence to show up ready to work and to grow your team. Learn more and make a change today at ucan.ca. Brownie, who gets Relentless Player of the Day today?
Well, today was a big day if you were a Toronto Blue Jay fan and forgotten in this game because there was a fantastic pitching from a young kid, Trey Savage, and there was the big hit from Vladdy Jr., but forgotten in this was Dalton Varsho, who came in. He had 2 home runs. He had 2 doubles. He was 4 for 5, had 4 RBIs in this baseball game. And to me, it was just, he's the guy when the Jays were really struggling this year at the very end. He had a huge, I think it was a grand slam against the Red Sox that turned around that series, and the Jays eventually won the division. And in this game today, to me, he was fantastic. It was a fun weekend if you're a Blue Jays fan. And today, Dalton Varsho was outstanding, and he was my relentless player.
Love it. And I know you and Zubie in Take a Lap tonight are going to take a look at some other sports and Jays and NFL and such. So I'm going to give you guys a little breathing room on tonight's Sunday show to talk a little other sports. And I'm sure their decision to pull that pitcher, a bunch of other stuff will probably come up tonight in a little bit. So stay with us. More Blue Jay talk. That'll be Brownie and Zubie coming up in a little bit. Zubie, hop in here, buddy. So your last name is Sabunya. Your last name is Sabunya, right? Sabunya.
I think so, yes. Well,
within there exists a silent Z, S-Z-A-B-U-N-I-A, right?
Sure. You continue. I
spelled that right?
Yeah, yes, you spelled it correctly. Yes.
Okay. So your nickname is not Zubie, like with an S, Zubie. Your nickname is Zubie, a play on the silent Z in Sabunya. So Zubie it is. There was a big debate on the chat today about the way your nickname should be spelled. Brownie came over the top with an abomination of a spelling on your nickname today. And we got to take it to the people on the way. How do you want it spelled, Chris? Maybe you can reveal that at the end of the show. But
Zubie, here's my side
the way
of it.
Brownie
Here's my side.
it.
Okay, your name starts SZ, does it not?
It does. This is all correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And when you send out it to the texting group, when you go by Zubes? Is it not SZ? Yeah, is it not SZUBS? That's what comes across.
That's also correct. Yes.
Yeah. So you even though it's a silent S, it's still there when he goes by Zubes. So when I call you Zubie, I keep the silent S there because it was with Zubes. And just like every hockey player that's ever had a nickname, or you just add E at the end, Brownie, Struddy, you don't change the first letters in the name just because that's how it sounds. You keep the same ones and you just add E at the end, either a Y or an IE. So when I spelled Zubie, I went SZUBBY.
Yeah.
Because
Zubie.
it's Zoobs.
You called him Zubie.
Zubie. It's a long U.
Zubie.
It's a long U. Zubie.
Okay, Chris, you talk.
Whenever
Well,
there's two B's beside each other, it always makes the vowel right before it long.
To me, is that true? When I saw it, I had no problem with it. This is not, by the way, this is not my vanity project here tonight. This is Shocker's idea. Didn't like that. I think, to me, if I saw that word without any context, I might say Zubie, but I don't know. It didn't give me any problems. So officially, my last name is Polish, and in Poland, you would be Shabunia. The SZ is like an SH in Polish in the Slavic languages. So it'd actually be Shabunia. In Canada, we just kind of I'll accept either. If someone says Sabunia or Zabunia, no correction. I'll march ahead. When someone tries to go Zabunia and say them both, then I might say, basically, I'll just say pick one. I don't care which one. Pick one, but not both. So yeah, it's all good, but it did. Now it had, do you want to do this? It has now the people have come in with so many amazing other versions of it. We were going to do it as the poll
out there. I'll get the poll out there, and then we can go over some of those. It is brought to you by DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center. Extend your golf season this fall and layer up with fall golf essentials. Buy one piece, get the second piece 50% off. All Adidas footwear 50% off. Located at 5311 99th Street in Edmonton. Zubie, take us through the poll.
Well, geez, now there's so many good ones that came in. Honestly, there's not even 4 is not enough. Riot's Edge is spelling it with an X, which I guess still would be Zubie, Xoobhee. I got no problem with that. Anyway, the poll tonight is, how should my nickname be spelled? And the 4 options are Brownie, Zubie, Zubie.
No, it's Zubie. It's pronounced Zubie.
Oh,
again,
yeah, sorry.
The double B
Zubie.
makes the U long.
Sure.
There's other good ones. JL says Zubie. He's got TSU. Other people saying, so should we call you? Now, when they write it like this, it looks like Shubby because they're trying to do the S. I guess Shubby, but no, that's no good. Shubby. People saying Shubby now. No, thank you. Anyway, the choices officially are Zubie, Zubby, Zubie, Zoobee, Zubie, Zubie, or Zubie, Zubi, which is how it sometimes gets spelled, I think.
Is there a little heart over that I in the Zubi?
Only when I sign my name.
I believe I do it Zubie, right? That's what the boss, that's what I do.
I want to know what happened to the S, though. I mean, the S is in his name. How did you just completely get rid of a big part of his name?
Because in his name, you call him Sabunia. You can hear the S. In his nickname, Zubie, there's no need for it. The S is useless.
In his texting, he's Zoobs, Szubs, and he gave that to himself. I was respecting him as a man who wants to know what he wants to be called.
I think I had it. Scotty Knows said I would vote for Szubie if it was an option. And I think I had it spelled that way. And then I might have changed my very highly followed Twitter handle at one point in time to be just Zubie, because I think that was the agreed upon spelling. It doesn't matter, that's for sure. But I appreciate people voting.
40 Knight says this is one of the most intelligent conversations on this pod. 40 Knight, you're going to learn. You're going to learn with us. There are some things that we need to get to the bottom of them. And there is nothing beneath what we're... Tjuibi? What's that from Quaddy?
Well,
no
Zubie,
chance.
It's like the T's going to be silent. Zubie.
Oh, I like that.
Goodness sake.
There's really lots of good ones.
All right, we've run way over time in this first segment. So Zubie, here's what I want you to do. A little producing on the fly.
Yes.
I'm going to make a request, okay? I want the 70s retro music for Got Your Back.
Yep.
And I want Strud screenshot back up and then fade to commercial.
Let's
see how tight you can make all that. Ready?
Let's see, yeah.
We'll be back in a moment here on Got Your Back. That worked well.
Steve forgot to mention the prompt was 70s cop show.
Oh, I like it.
All right.
We'll be right back. is in sewer line repair and replacement using advanced trenchless methods for fast, clean results. They provide detailed sewer assessments and scoping to identify problems before they become costly. Serving both residential and commercial properties, no job is too big or too small, and with over 40 years of experience, they've seen it all. Trust Mainline to keep your lines flowing smoothly. All right, yes, it is time for Brownie Points, brought to you by the Alberta Ram dealers. The 2025 Ram 1500 is Motor Trend's Truck of the Year. Check out your Alberta Ram dealer to get into this award-winning truck at a competitive price. Capable, stylish, powerful. Yeah, there's a look at it. It's a beast. It is Ram. Brownie.
Well, there's going to be a theme today in today's Brownie Points, and that's my Toronto Blue Jays. And today I'm giving 11 huge Brownie Points to the Blue Jays' 22-year-old rookie pitcher, Trey Yesavich, who in only his fourth major league start. This kid started in A ball at the beginning of the season. He struck out 11 Yankees. The Yankees are the most offensive team in the American League, might be in the entire majors, but the most in the American League. He struck 11 out in just 5 innings and helped give the Jays a 2-0 lead in the series. So 11 for Trey Yesavich, who he is going to be a household name soon for Blue Jay fans. I have 300 Brownie Points to the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning, who combined in an absolutely nothing exhibition game with over 300 penalty minutes. There's bad blood between the two Florida teams. And when there's one of them is a 2-time defending champion, they are going to try to send a message. The Lightning tried to send a message. And the 2-time Stanley Cup champions responded by spanking the Lightning 8-0. Cool thing about that game, Makala, is that his name? The defenseman? I think it's Makala.
Mikkola, the guy who just signed. Yeah,
he's the one. He got kicked out of the game. Didn't realize he got kicked out of the game. Set up a goal. And then about 5-6 minutes went by when they were announcing the goal, and they realized that he'd already been kicked out. They had to stop the game, kicked him out, and took the goal off the scoreboard. So kind of a neat little thing. Doesn't happen very often. I got 4 big Brownie Points to the Blue Jays. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. for each of the runs that he drove in his 4th inning grand slam that broke open Game 2 of this Yankees-Blue Jays series. I was a fan of his dad, and I am also a fan of Vladdy Jr. as well. I got 5 big Brownie Points to the Edmonton Oilers opening roster. There is a possibility they could have 5 rookies in their lineup. I think they just had 1 last year. I think Emerson may have been a rookie last year when he was in the opening night roster. With the injuries to Wallman and Janmark and the strong cans by Regula and Tomasic, there is a possibility they could join expected rookies Savoy, Howard, and Philp on Wednesday night. And the last one, it's a long one, but I have 100 Brownie Points to all the superstar athletes out there that will give an honest and confident answer and then go back their claim. Last week in a horrible, hostile environment, Shane Lowry, who took the second most abuse of any of the team European players, was asked how he was able to have success in that atmosphere. He said he was made for these moments. The next day, he had a 6-footer to retain the Ryder Cup. He drained it. The pressure didn't bother him. Yesterday, 20-year-old Trey Yesavich was asked how he was going to deal with the pressure of playing a playoff game against the Yankees in only his 4th ever start. He calmly said the same. He said, I am made for this. He came out today and had an historic moment. So I give credit to these players that will calmly and confidently claim, I can do it, and then go out and do it. And those tonight's Shogger are my Brownie Points.
I love it. Little introspection and zen. Little strong mental approach.
S-Z-E-N?
No, it's just a Z. Just Z-E-N,
Silent
buddy.
S.
No S at the beginning of that, yeah. Yeah. Well, and Struds shows a similar mental stick-to-itiveness. Like, despite what I could only imagine were the horrible screams from Shona as he was getting into the truck with that shirt on tonight, he persevered because he said, I am made for these moments. I am made for going out into public and making this work. And he's doing it. So there's some stick-to-itiveness there from the big guy.
I feel like he kind of leans into it. I think he enjoys it. I think there's no pressure in him being like, I'm wearing whatever.
Oh, I don't think he's leaning into anything tonight with that shirt on. It'll rip. Buttons will pop if he leans too far forward in that thing.
Yeah.
He's got to learn.
You know what I can't
he's not
wait?
a child's medium.
You know what? I cannot wait. I cannot wait for, I think we'll do our next show Tuesday night. I cannot wait for Tuesday night to get him on here and just pick his brain about what's going on there. The confidence that he will defend that shirt is going to be mind-numbing for the rest of us. It truly is.
Seriously, Shogger, I honestly hope that they were on their way into the restaurant and someone bumped into him and spilled something all over the nice shirt that he actually wore.
Yeah.
And then right next door was a used clothing store, and he went in there and quickly just bought the only thing that almost fit him. I'm hoping that is the reason he has that on.
No. I think it was in his closet, and he made that as a conscious choice. By the way, Brownie, did you want to revisit any of your points at all? Like, I noticed there was nothing for Struds there for ditching the show.
You know what?
We're still in Brownie points technically.
Yeah, I was in a positive way. I mean, my Jays won today, and they won big, so I just couldn't go. I still have 82 minimum Brownie points this year, nights to do it, and I will certainly make sure that Struddy finds himself on the bottom of a few of those Brownie points with a lot of big negatives before it.
Kayla Weethorn with a little history moment here too. I do remember this. She says Shogger wore some sort of abomination of a shirt last season and changed it midstream.
All right,
for getting
Kayla.
so much crap for it. Just 100%.
No need to
true.
be dredging up the past here, Kayla. By the way, that shirt was fine. That was a Travis Matthews golf shirt from De Boers, our valued sponsor.
That's right.
Where they have great looking shirts at De Boers all the time. Scotty, TJ, Al, all incredibly well dressed because they have such nice stuff over at De Boers. You guys chased me off the show with that shirt.
It wasn't the shirt. It was you.
Yeah, no, it was all me. Okay, that was Brownie Points brought to you by Alberta Ram Dealers. I don't know, do we run Struddy's intro tonight if he's not here? Or do we just put the shirt back, just put the picture back up and then we'll roll the ad read? What do you vote for, Brownie?
Shirt.
Hang on, I got I can do this. I can get the remix and get the shirt going at the same time.
Can you really for the ad read? I love it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, time now for Struddy's World. Brought to you by Body Realty at Royal LePage, AR Team Realty.
No, wait, this one.
Becoming a homeowner is one of life's most liberating milestones. There he is, offering pride, freedom to make it your own, and the chance to build lasting equity. Buying a home's a big decision, right? The team at Body Realty guides clients through the complex process, expertise, care, providing unwavering support even after the keys are handed over. Their clients will tell you, they make you feel like you are their only client. And I gotta say, Harm, if you see Struds at the golf course, feel free to tee off on them for that choice of t-shirts. Okay, Struddy is not here. I'm going to take Struddy's World tonight. So I was playing a little golf today with two of my buddies who shall remain unnamed for the purposes of this podcast. And we like to get a little action going, but it's really simple stuff. There isn't even any money on the line. It's like a sandwich and a drink that we play for. And so we got a couple of games going between the three of us, and it's competitive. We're all kind of playing crappy, some back and forth, right? It's really light, fun competition. So we get to the 16th tee box, and we haven't really been paying too much attention to where the game is at and such. And I kind of like to just reset a little bit, just so we know heading home, what are we looking at? Where's the competition at? So I said, okay, let's take stock and figure out where we're at. So my one buddy starts tallying everything up. My other buddy goes, I don't want to know. And we were like, what? He's like, I don't want to know. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. And we're like, well, I mean, like, we're not, you know. So then my other friend just blurted it out. Literally just blurted out where the competition was at, right? Wheels fall off of the guy who didn't want to know. And he's sour. The wheels fell off and he was sour. So we had a discussion about it, and he was like, look, I told you that I didn't want to know, and you didn't honor that request. And you know, he was a little frustrated that we were I actually felt bad. I was like, did we bogey there? Like, he didn't want to know. Did he have a right to not be told what the score was for the final three holes in the hopes that, you know, he'd be better prepared or whatever it was and have a chance to win? So it sounds like I'm kind of making fun of him, and maybe we are a little bit, but I just want to put it to you guys. Did he have a right not to know what the score was? Or of course, we're going to take stock and tell everyone the score so we can have a blast and chirp and, oh, big putt and this and that. It came down to one putt. We might not have known that, or he might not have known that. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely you tell him. And if he's having a really good round, you want it in his head. You want to know that, hey, that 15-footer, this could be your course record. This would be the best round you've ever had in your life. Don't screw up. Make sure you don't screw this one up. Absolutely, you tell him that. Get in his head. And just, I mean, seriously, if he's that weak, he shouldn't be playing for anything. If you are that weak that if your buddies tells you where it's at and that's going to affect your game, then you don't play for anything because you're not mentally strong enough to do it. So I'm 100% on the side of you and your buddy for letting him know. And if he would have begged you, please don't tell me, then you yell it even louder. So yes, 100% you tell him.
Mars Boy says this sounds like a Reddit post. I'm assuming he's thinking this is in the Am I the Asshole section subreddit there. Quaddy says the Oilers should do that during their games. Yeah. That's fine. I don't know. I would have probably respected that he said, I don't want to know. Okay. I won't tell, that probably would have been it for me. But if someone else had blurted it out, then I don't think that's no big foul.
Queen Bee Amy says he had the right not to know. The Neon Rider feels like, a little bit mentally weak, not wanting to know. Canadian Patriot says, I agree with Brownie. So a little bit split there. Yeah, there's Canadian Patriot. I agree with Brownie. So look, I'm not the one that said the score out loud. It was my other friend that did it. Certainly no offense was intended. And I'll think about that. I'll try and honor that request next time. I think maybe, I don't know if the result would have been any different.
But Jogger, I think if it's if there was no competition, you and I, we played the other day and we weren't having a competition. We were just playing golf. And if you were having the best round ever and you didn't want to know, I wouldn't have told you. But if we were playing a competition, no. I was having a good day and your day was a little off that day. But I would, if you were having a day, I wouldn't bring it up if we weren't competing. But if we're competing, all things are fair. If we're having a competition, we're playing mind games. I'm putting down the putt. I'm like waiting for your putt, or I'm like, maybe got change going in my pocket as you're lining up your putt, just things like that to get into your head. So yeah, I like that one, Bill Monroe. I would have told him with a bullhorn. I like that one. That's Monroe.
There's lots of
Kayla Weethorn had a good one. Kayla Weethorn is not feeling us at all, Brownie. And Kayla is beloved on this show. I hope he spoils a movie that you're all looking forward to then. Turds. She called us turds.
I went out on a date long time ago. And as we were leaving Top Gun, my date turns to everyone. That was back when they used to line up to get into the movie theater. Don't get too attached to Goose, everybody. I felt bad when she said that to everybody amazing. Standing in line. I thought she crossed the line. Still remember that moment.
Nice. That's a mid-movie plot point. That's not like walking out of Empire Strikes Back and saying Darth Vader's his father.
He is? I haven't watched that. Really?
Oh, sorry, Brad.
Red flag, says Mars Boy. All right, that was Struddy's World, brought to you by Body Realty. All right, we're going to keep things moving right along here. I'm going to kind of take the governor off you two because it's a Sunday night and there's no NHL games. There's not a lot going on, so I want you two to spend a little time talking about some other sports as we take a lap, brought to you by Riverside Motorsports, family-owned and operated, serving Edmonton, an area for over 55 years. They feature top brands like Yamaha, Suzuki, Polaris, Husqvarna, and Gas, delivering the best selection in Alberta, a massive inventory of parts and accessories, and recognized as the #1 KTM dealership in the country. Check them out at www.riversidemotorsports.com or step into their store just off St. Albert Trail. Brownie, I know that this store, you're a fan of not just the store, but the crew running it. These are good folks in your life.
Oh, great friends of ours. My good buddy Bun. I golf with him every Wednesday. His whole family has run this forever. I think it was his father and his uncle started it. Now Bun and his two brothers run it. I've bought 2 boats from them. My lawnmower, I've been there. I've had some toys from them. So, it's one of the nicest families you'll ever meet. The Parrott family are fantastic. So I'm glad they're part of the part of the program. And I know you talked. He's got two sons, Mitch and Josh, and I know that you dealt with Mitch. Two great kids as well. So I'm glad they're part
awesome.
of the program and part of the podcast.
Yeah. And they're super pumped. They listen to the show all the time. They were super pumped to be on board. So thrilled to have them on board. Listen, I want to have good, solid talk about the Jays and whatever's going on in the NFL today and stuff. And I'm not too arrogant to say that best conversation probably exists between you two. So Zubie, you get the reins for Take a Lap tonight. I will chime in where I think I can. But have at her, boys. What a day for the Jays.
Yeah, I mean, this was otherworldly. I mean, it's kind of a really good game if you kind of had to turn it off around the sixth inning, like I did, to have to move on to do some other stuff. Then it was a real, one-sided affair. But Brownie, they're going to New York. I mean, they can't be in a much better position now. They got this incredible game out of a rookie pitcher. They're going to New York. It's going to be tough, but they're up 2-0. It's a best of 5. They only got to win one more. And the bats have awoken. And Vladdy and Kirk and Lucas and Varsho, like these guys they're hitting everything. And today they played the ace today. So what do you think of their chances going into Game 3?
Well, I like it. Obviously, this was a huge advantage for the Yankees today. Their best pitcher, who might have been the best pitcher in the American League this year, pitching for them, and they beat him around. He didn't get through the third inning.
Yeah.
So they beat him up, and then they have as I said, a 22-year-old rookie, his fourth ever start in the major leagues. He struck out 11. That's the best offense in baseball. I love the fact that they had his mom and dad and brother in the stands, and they kept showing them every time he struck someone else. And then his speech at the end of the game when he was being interviewed in front of 50,000 people. Like, I got chills. I'm sitting with my wife watching the game. I got chills. It was so cool for this 22-year-old to experience this incredible moment with his parents and brother in the stands. And yeah, going forward, the Jays are in the driver's seat. Now the Yankees are good. And they ain't going to roll over. They ended up scoring 7 late in this game to make it a little bit interesting. But the Blue Jays are for real. And they did it without possibly their best hitter,
right,
Bichette, who's not in the lineup this series. So good on the Jays. I'm a big Jays fan and looking forward to, I believe, Tuesday night when they have their first chance to close this out.
And I'm hopeful for the sweep, not just for the Jays, but because to back up Buck Martinez's comments that everyone was so hard on him for, about saying that the Yankees are basically, he said, are not a good team. He meant they were a one-dimensional team. Teams that get by just hitting home runs usually don't contend for the division, but I think that's what he was saying, but they took that to heart. So I'd love for it to be a sweep for Buck and his comments. Jumping over to the NFL, I'm super sour because the Seahawks, my team, they lost on they had in a tie game through, marching down to go try and kick the game-winning field goal, deflected ball, interception, and they end up losing by said field goal. And then I lost my fantasy game on effectively a garbage time touchdown by a guy who didn't have a catch in the entire game. So I'm sour, but I do want to talk about the Titans and the Arizona Cardinals. Now this game, if you didn't see it, it's a little bit off the map of the kind of the big games, but it just goes to show anything can happen in the NFL. So this guy, Amari DiMercato, a running back, he was still, I think, the second running back today, but there's 2 guys hurt there. James Conner and Benson are both hurt. So this guy kind of gets a chance. He busts a 72-yard run and pulls the old, drops it before he crosses the plane of the goal line. And the Titans defender bats it through the end zone. It's a touchback. It's the change of possession, no points. And that's at that point, they were up, I think, 21-3, the Cardinals. So that would have put them up by 4 scores. The Titans come back and win, but not only that, they also scored a touchdown with about 4.5 minutes left. Go look this up. Cam Ward, the rookie, not that Cam Ward. Cam Ward, first overall pick to the Titans this year. They scored a touchdown where he threw it. It was intercepted. The Cardinals guy who intercepted it fumbled it back into their own end zone, and the Titans guy jumped on it, and they got a touchdown. And that wasn't the game-winning touchdown. They still had to kick a field goal after that, but just a wild game and like the true, they say anything could happen on Sunday in the NFL, and that was a case of it for sure, Brownie. What did you see today?
Well, I didn't see that game, but now I feel like I want to go rewatch it. And I don't understand how a guy now could go to the end zone and drop the ball before he's in, because we've seen it happen, and it happens more times than it should. I just don't get it. I mean, is there an arrogance? is there an excitement or what it is, but it happens too often. One time is too many times, and it happens way, way too much. I just watched the end of the Bills game. So I think two of the undefeated teams, the Bills and the Eagles, both were upset today in this game. So a couple of the undefeated teams are no longer.
Yeah, and the Eagles were up. They were controlling that game. So, yeah, it's crazy. Things turn on a dime.
All right, good stuff, boys. Zubie, quick, I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curveball here. We want to get to a scoreboard. Now, I know that there are another curveball. Yes. I know there's no games, but one of the things that we haven't talked about yet, Brownie, is the Oilers' schedule. And so I think we'll get to that a little bit here. Just a quick discussion about what this first month of the season looks like for them. And that will be brought to you by The Bridge Sports Therapy. Rehabilitation at The Bridge offers a comprehensive approach that extends beyond temporary pain relief and focuses on developing long-term strength and resilience to support an active lifestyle with clinics in Edmonton, Sherwood Park, Lethbridge, and one opening soon out your way, Brownie, in St. Albert. The Bridge provides accessible team-based care across Alberta. Learn more at thebridge.fit. So unique start to the schedule, Brownie, in that so they're home on Wednesday, then they take they're home on Saturday against the Vancouver Canucks, a couple of days off, and then off they go and get this big Eastern swing done really early on. This team is on the road a lot in the early days of the season here. Brownie, what do you think about the pluses and minuses of getting a big trip like that done before your schedule is 3 games old?
As a player, you loved it. You really did, because it's a bonding experience. When you're at home, you see the guys at the rink, but then once the rink part of the day is done, you go your own ways. Most guys have families or kids, or there's so many things pulling at you. And at the beginning of the season, most of the teams that are on, the ownership and the coaching staff tried or hoped to have road trips early. And for this Oiler team, there's a lot of new faces. For a team that is competing for a Stanley Cup, and many are expecting to be one of the top 4 or 5 teams, there's been a big turnover. And it's a turnover with a lot of younger players or inexperienced players in this lineup. It is huge, in my opinion, for these players to be on the road, for the Savoys, Tomasics, Howards, to be on the road for going out for dinners, going to movies, hanging out at a pub, being on the airplane, sitting in the seat beside a veteran, just getting to know everybody. And you really get to know each other more off the ice. That's when bonds happen, more off the ice than on the ice. It's when you have real conversation. It's when you find out about some kid's family. How, where'd you grow up? What'd you do where'd you go to school? What are your kids like? Things like that you don't really at the rink talk about. At the rink, it's just hockey and sport. But when you're away from it, having dinner, if Adam Henrique says to Howard and Savoy, hey, let's go, the 3 of us are going out for dinner tonight, that means a lot to a young player. So I think it is very important for the Oilers to get on the road early with the number of young players they have, the number of new players they have, and have it as a bonding experience. It might not count in wins and losses early on the road trip, but it will pay dividends as the season moves on.
So, Brownie, you've been steadfast in talking about how the start of a season, like it really doesn't matter. It's more how you finish, right? You've been steadfast in that, and you've been proven to be right a couple of years in a row on that. But I do want to circle back on that idea with you this season. And not to change your mind, but this year is maybe a little bit different. This group is under some pressure and some stress. This is a group that, McDavid wants this cup so bad. They want to get to the promised land so bad. It's 2 years of disappointment. They got a bunch of new players. They got this McDavid contract thing maybe hanging out there. I just can't help but wonder, Brownie, if the way this group is formulated, that they would do themselves a big favor by not giving themselves a bunch of extra stress in the first month of the season and just getting off to a decent start so the vibe can be positive. Because I do think this group just kind of needs to chill and relax and enjoy the ride a little bit here. And it'll be hard to do with another bad start.
Okay, when I say about the starts don't matter, I'm saying big picture for me looking at the team. I'm not saying what it's like in the dressing room. Because in the dressing room, and you talk to any of the players, winning is more fun. It sucked the beginning of last year for the Oilers. It sucked the beginning of the year before. It wasn't fun in the dressing room. And the reason we play hockey is because we enjoy it. So I will stand by the exact same thing. It doesn't matter. The beginning of the seasons matter to teams that are fighting for a playoff spot. I don't believe the Oilers will be fighting for a playoff spot. I think they are in the playoffs. They are that good. Now, injuries may change that. But for a team that with all the stuff you talk about, the stress, the McDavid contract, he needs the team to be looking like it's going to be a good team for a number of years. And that means the Howards, the Savoys, these younger players have to be good. I do think it's important that way. For the mental health of the players, it's way more fun when you're winning. And we know we live in, if the Anaheim Ducks, won't even say Anaheim because they're usually not good. The New York Rangers, if they get off to a bad start, there's 2 or 3 people that'll write about it in the papers, but it's really not, there's so much going on in New York that the Rangers are just a small part of that city, same as the Panthers. But in Edmonton, if Edmonton struggles, let's face it, in the winter in Edmonton, there's only one thing. It's the Edmonton Oilers. And all the media is 24/7. There's way more pressure in Edmonton than any team in the United States. So that is why it's important for the Oilers to have a good start in the dressing room. But for me, I'll stick with it. It does not matter if the Oilers could be outside the playoffs on November 1st. I still have them as one of my Stanley Cup favorites.
That was our scoreboard, brought to you by The Bridge Sports Therapy and Training. Okay, when we come back, we've made you wait for it. The Zubiewed game, minus Jason Strudwick, coming up in our next segment. Ask us anything as well. So any questions you have for Brownie or Zubie or I, fire them in and onto our Weiss Johnson YouTube stream, and we will grab those for our last segment as well. So stay with us. Now let's have some fun next here on Got Your Back, presented by Timberhouse.
So at Timberhouse, our guiding philosophy is naturally inspired living. We believe that through design, we can solve problems and enhance people's lives. We follow biophilic design principles in all of our builds to incorporate natural materials, natural light, to enhance all the spaces in a home. When you have your space perfectly reflect who you are and what you value, and it's made well, we think that that just leads to better living.
Why would you? Nobody puts in wood windows or siding anymore, so why put in wood fences? Maintenance-free vinyl fence from DLR is backed by a lifetime warranty and will save you time. Weekends are for playing, not painting. Go vinyl at dlrvinylproducts.ca.
That ad is classic. So that's my brother Rick voicing that ad for DLR. And so we're sitting here, we got the ads written, and it's time to voice them. And so I voiced it, my brother Rob voiced it. And it was kind of like, all right, Rick was like, well, I'll give it a go. We're like, sure. So Rick sits down in the chair, and like, my brother's from Alberta, not Mississippi. And he sat down in the chair, Brownie, and he goes, why would ya? Like, this hard Southern accent and drawl. And Rob and I look at each other, and Rick just powers through this read. And he did it like on the first take with his hard Southern accent. He looks at Rob and I, and we're like, yeah, awesome. So I send all the options away to Zubie, and I'm like, dude, like, you pick what you want. Rick kind of did this thing, like, whatever, just pick what you want. And Zubie was like, dude, it is by far the best one. It's awesome. We're using it. So on that DLR ad, that's my brother Rick. Why would you? Asking the question, why would you use wood when you could use PVC from DLR? Hey, Zubie, that...
Oh, yeah, I loved it.
When
you told me the name, you're like, hey, I don't know about the one. Who was it, Rick or Rob, that one? I don't even know.
That was Rick.
Okay, because you said to me, you were like, I don't know about the one from Rick. But I didn't really know. I wasn't diving into who was who. And the first time I heard that one, I was like, oh, my God, this is amazing. I'm using this for sure. But then I don't know. I didn't know. So a couple people said on the stream, and someone actually messaged me this on Twitter as well, that they thought that's just Steve voicing that DLR ad.
No, it's brother Rick. He's got a nickname. Paulie has nicknamed him One Take Rick. So, yep, One Take Rick is born here on the show. Why would you? All right, roll it. Let's have some fun. The Zubiewed game, first episode of the new season.
Do you want to do HSE core, and then I'll do the...
Oh, yeah, we can do that, hey? Yeah, my bad.
Then I'll get the song ready.
Oh, man, I'm totally screwing this all up for Tom Lesko. Oh, boy. Okay, I got it here. Time now for the Zubiewed game, presented by HSE Core Services. If you need a safety program They build it. If you need it managed, well, they can handle that for you too. If you're stuck dealing with those online safety registries and your clients make you sign up for them, just don't love doing them, well, they handle those as well. And yes, they do core audits. If you own a business, you've probably heard all this stuff and would love to have it all taken care of. Go to www.hsecor.com. Zubie?
Oh, yes. Oh, that must be the right spelling of my name. It's right there in the title of the game.
There you go.
Welcome to the Zubiewed game. By demand, we're back. Not popular demand, just demand, as I was demanded that I should do it tonight.
Because I didn't know what we were going to talk about. Let's do a Zubiewed.
But that is all good. So yes, of course, just we'll quickly run back down the premise. It's like the Newlywed Game. So we have 8 questions plus a bonus question tonight. Maybe we'll need it as a tiebreaker. Our subject usually joins us here, but we all know what's going on with Struddy. So there's 9 questions. Struddy answered them to me from the bathroom of whatever restaurant he's in via text, or at least the last 3. I think they came in a bunch, so I think he must have excused himself to the restroom. So Brownie and Rishaug here don't know Struddy's answers. They're going to try to predict what Struddy said. They get a point for each correct answer, and we're just going to run the gamut here on the topic. So
Okay.
Are we ready to begin? Let me get my sound effects here. Let me just that's okay. Yeah, those are good. You guys don't want to hear that second one?
Yeah, get no respect.
Mine's ready to go too.
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's go.
Perfect. Okay, here we go. So question number 1 was this: who will score more goals this year? Podkolzin or Savoy? And for a bonus point, how many? Brownie, you want to go first?
I went Savoy and 14.
I too went Savoy and 16.
All right. I think I'm actually, now I realize, I think we usually get it from Struddy first, but you guys both got the name wrong. Struddy said Podkolzin. One of you did get the number right, which was 16. So Rishaug, he said Podkolzin outscoring Savoy.
I get a point for that, right?
Yes.
I get a point
No, you don't get
the
a
number
half.
right.
You don't get a half point for that. He picked the wrong guy. He doesn't get a point for that.
Yeah, I got
if
the
Savoy
number right.
if Savoy
there were
scores
2
16
questions.
goals this year, it doesn't mean he gets a point if Podkolzin does.
Yeah, that's true. I'm with Brownie. Talked me into it.
No,
Yeah,
wait a second. There were 2 questions. I got 1 wrong and I got 1 right. I should have put Podkolzin
You guessed how
in
many?
16.
You guessed how many goals Savoy was going to score. You never guessed how many Podkolzin was going to.
And obviously you
guessed
thought
how
it was,
many-
but you thought it was less than 16, or you would have said Podkolzin.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
I picked the
That's
number
true,
that
too.
I thought Struds would say, regardless of which player he picked.
No,
Okay, let's
you-
quickly have a
no.
vote. Let's have a vote. There's 3 of us here. All in
Okay.
favor of giving me a half point, say aye. Aye. All in favor of not, say no.
No.
Nay.
Nay.
That backfired.
Sorry,
Okay, no
pal.
point. All right, let's go.
And just Steve said no too, so it was 3-1.
He's
Okay,
part of the staff.
question number 2. So I will give the answer. Or should we do it this
Yeah.
way? This is a
Well, let's try with the Struds answer first.
Okay. So the question here was stretching on the tee box, down on one knee, hip flexor, and groin stretch. The
Favorite
options
stretch.
were okay if you're waiting to hit, understandable but deserves to be chirped, or the third choice was under no circumstances. So Struddy said number 2, this is question number 2, 0 reason to stretch on the first tee, have some pride. So under no circumstances was Struddy's answer. Brownie got it. Rishaug?
Yeah, I mean, I thought understandable. I didn't think it was that bad, and I didn't. Struds appreciates a good stretch. I've done this in front of him, and he didn't even chirp me.
He was embarrassed.
All right.
Sorry, pal. This is not going your way. All right. Question number 3. Other than chapstick, what does Struds always need to have a fresh supply of? I'll tell you what I would have thought if I was guessing on this, I would have said candles. But I would have been wrong. He said water flavored with fruit. which is very specific. Water flavored with fruit. Shogger, what did you have? You go
He's
first this
getting
time.
mad. I have breath mints. Oh, I can't see that. There it is.
There you
Breath
go.
mints.
Sorry, pal.
I had
One-liners. I love how well people know us on this stream. Obelisk21 says mustard. Kayla Weethorn says not pillows. I'm not going to say what on the road what JT Shark said. We're not going there, JT. Paulie says yarn or wool.
I could see Struddy carrying mustard packets around. Just, the kind of just in case that he's worried it's not going to be somewhere. Okay. Question number 4. Brownie's up 1 donut here. How many times a week does Struddy wash his hair? That was question number 4. Struddy's answer says, keeping this hair looking this good requires daily work, washed daily, every day. Brownie, what did you have?
Wow.
I didn't think he had enough hair to wash every day, so I said 5 times.
For real? No wonder he's losing it so fast. That's too much.
Shogger said
Second
3.
shower, 3.
Shogger said 3 for those in audio form. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, this next one, this is a gooder here. If Struds had to pick a profession other than pro athlete or broadcaster, what would it be? I thought he might be like a greens guy. He loves his lawn so much. I thought he might be like the greenskeeper at a golf course. But he said this. He said, I've probably timed out on being a model, so I would go with being an accountant.
What?
Math is his
He
strong
really
suit,
would've won-
as we all know. Shogger, what did you say?
Is he sauced up at dinner? Like, is he giving real answers or is he just being a goof? All right. Sales. I have sales in there.
I thought he'd be a good butler. He could wear a suit all the time. He's helpful.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Work on his British accent.
What's the score?
It's 1-0 Brownie.
1-0. We don't really
Should be
know.
1 to
Jason.
0.5. 1 to 0.5. All right, keep him rolling here.
Are
Let's
you
go.
sure you want to recheck the score here or just let it ride till the end?
Yeah,
Don't
don't
wanna
tell me.
reset
Don't
it.
tell me what it is. I don't want to know.
Okay, question number 6. When does Connor McDavid sign? The choices that were given to him were, and I'll sort of tell you, this is going to be hard to get right because he chose something else. So the choices given to him were this week, before the trade deadline, off season, or never. This was when does he sign with the Oilers? And I'll tell you that what he said was maybe he didn't realize that was multiple choice. He said he signs before Christmas. We'll have to see what you guys.
Well,
if you
that would be before, that'd be before deadline. Then that'd be before deadline.
That's what I was gonna say.
Right?
I feel like I know what Brownie might have put as his answer.
Well, before Christmas is before deadline. It didn't say what day before the deadline.
Yeah, that is loose. That is this game. There is no continuity.
Is Christmas before the deadline?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't say the day before the deadline.
No,
You're right. There was a stretch there between this week.
What's that?
I had this week. You can see that this week.
Oh.
My light's too bright this week.
You just did an entire thing at the beginning of the show saying that he wasn't going to sign. You got everyone yelling at you on Twitter. That's what I took from it.
But he's predicting what Struddy was going to say. That's not Shogger's opinion.
Oh, that's a good point.
He was predicting what Struddy's going to say. All right, Brownie with nearly insurmountable lead here. No, that's not true. We have 3 questions left. Okay, this was posed to Struddy.
Shouldn't have told me.
Struddy, Struddy, wherever you are, what's your favorite holiday? And he responded back. He said, "Have a holly jolly Christmas, love the Christmas time." So Struddy picked Christmas. Brownie, he's got it. Shogger.
Thanksgiving.
Oh no. Well, now it's insurmountable.
Whose favorite holiday is Thanksgiving?
This is why you're better friends with him.
Americans. Some Americans like Thanksgiving.
Very clear to
you
me.
are right. You are right.
I don't know the man very well, and that's why your bond with him has been forged stronger than mine, and why I'll always be an outsider on this show.
You know what I'm going to do, though? No, I'm going to do right now? I'm going to give you that 0.5 now.
Really?
Yep.
I'll take it. I'm not too proud to take that. Boom. Is that a brownie point? That's a brownie point.
No,
five,
no,
right?
just a 0.5 in this game. More or less, I gave you a gimme. I just gave you a gimme. You had a 6-footer, but I'll give it to you.
Yeah, Obelus21 says Struddy hates cranberries. He would never pick Thanksgiving. And Mars Boy says doesn't he hate, and I did know that about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Okay.
All right, question number 8. The dance floor is dead at a wedding you're attending because the DJ sucks. You walk over to request one song to get things turned back up again. What's the song?
I got a good feeling here. I got a good feeling.
He said, Dancing Queen lights up a dance floor like Brownie's face when he sees a free beer. Dancing Queen by ABBA.
We should have to sing our entries, Brownie. You go first.
Fat bottom girls make the rockin' world go round.
You can dance, you
Look
can
at
jive, having the time of your life. Boom! I've got a chance. What's the score?
Well,
what do we got? I'm on the comeback trail. What is it?
You do not. Do you want me to re-rack the score?
What's the score?
It's 3 to 1.5, and there's only one question.
Let's go.
Left. And it's not a double. Well, I guess. Hey, if you get this one, I'll make this a 3-pointer because there's
no. He does not. You can't change the rules.
I'm pressing. What does pressing mean in this?
Double or
nothing. You got to give me a chance, Brownie. Like some way to come back from behind and grab this, if something.
No, I don't. I'm already celebrating victory. I've already got my victory dance going.
Calvin Best says, "Oh my God, we need the regular season stat." We agree.
This is true.
We agree.
Okay, final question.
This is not our
here.
fault. This is the NHL's fault. Go
Final
ahead.
question here on the first episode of the Zubiewed game of this season. One word that Shona Strudwick would use to describe Jason on a date night. From the man himself, he said, lovable. That was the one word he used to describe.
That's not bad.
We'll go with,
Creative.
Brownie says creative. Very good.
Mall
Not
walking
correct,
is
good.
creative. That's mall walking for a date night. Isn't that what they did? Oh, that was Randine and I. We did that.
Oh,
incredible. I thought that he would say.
Oh, that's not. All right, there we go.
What did he say? What was his?
He said lovable.
Okay, we're all gonna throw up in our mouth a little bit here. I actually put this question to Shona. And
did they match?
Yeah. What's that?
Did they match?
Oh no. and I mean, we can read too much into this. But I said to Shona, what is the one word you'd use to describe Jason on a date night? And she said, ready. Ugh. Just like,
was she describing herself or Jason?
I don't know. I don't even know how to take that. That's no good. All right, what are the results?
All right, I'm using this is the 2000 sound effect that I haven't got to use yet because the end of Zubiewed game sound effect became the 1000 sound effect. So until we need to use this is the end of game. Our winner is checking the scoreboard. Oh, it's Brownie by a nose, 3 to 1.5. Congratulations, Brownie. Another big win.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm undefeated in this thing. But I mean, we had dinner the other night, me, you, and Strud, Zubie, and we talked about these things.
Yeah.
So we got to know each other a little bit better.
Where did you have dinner? How did you have dinner? How am I not invited if you three can have dinner?
Well, Zubie, me, Struds flew out to see Zubie and Steve in Kelowna. He had us all out there. So we knew all about the stuff that he was blowing up in his front lawn today. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah, Zubie, your front yard and your backyard is on fire right now. So we saw the Halloween setup in the front. How's the pool in the back, buddy?
Oh, it's wonderful. My son is basically living in there. He's putting in like 4 to 6 hours a day. He's pretty excited about it. Temperatures are kind of holding up here a little bit in like 18 to 20-ish, so nice. It's okay. I think we're going to leave it till the end of October, but it's been awesome so far. The water's a nice 88. Haven't seen my first heating bill, so I'm still satisfied with that 88 in the pool. And the front, I'll share. Today I was laying the groundwork on the Halloween decorations. So once it's finished, I'll make a little video and I'll show it on the show. I'm hoping to wrap it up tomorrow, but I got a couple things still to add.
Now, was there a discussion had about the ground rules with you and your wonderful wife about social media posts involving shirtless Chris? Has there been a discussion there? Because there might have been some social media posts with a half-naked Zubie in them.
Yeah, not in great depth other than just my... You know what? I look at it kind of like as a... when I get my new driver's license picture, I go, man, yeah, I don't like it, but whatever. So I guess I like it less than that because it's sharing it out to more people, but mostly whom we know. It's whatever. It's the body I've built for myself, so I have to own it. But it's fine.
Built. Brownie, how would you feel about a topless social media post if you're like Randine and I have had this discussion, and
with me,
it's just not something I'm willing to put out there.
Oh, I don't care. There's probably been many worse than that. No, I don't care.
Would you do a show topless?
Would I do a show topless? Yeah, I guess. I'm not sure our ratings are going to be very good that night.
All right, clip that.
Captain Chaos coming in here says Zubie owned that body, which is, I appreciate that. But what's great about it is his icon there is a picture of him wearing an Oilers luchador mask, and he has no shirt on. So it's a selfie in a mirror with no shirt on. Hard to say. It's small. He looks like he's in pretty good shape, but I still appreciate the sentiment.
That was Takeaways, brought to you by HSE Core Services. One more break, Zubie, or we rolling right into Ask Us Anything?
Quick break.
Okay, quick break. When we come back, Ask Us Anything, and we'll wrap up with the play of the day as well. We're way over time tonight, which is incredible considering we're missing a guy.
No hockey.
But we're off the rails here on a Sunday night. So stay with us here on Got Your Back, presented by Timberhouse.
For over 60 years, Belvedere Golf and Country Club has delivered a high-quality membership experience to Edmonton and area. And now it's even better. Drainage and irrigation improvements in 2024 have taken course conditions to a new level. This commitment to long-term sustainability means exceptional playing conditions all season long. Belvedere's tee sheet availability is unmatched, so join now and experience golf the way it was meant to be played, on your schedule. Visit belvederegcc.com today.
Have you got flies in your place, Shogger?
Could you hear that?
Yeah, well, I can see you too.
There's a mosquito. There's been this mosquito buzzing around in the studio all night tonight. I've been trying to get him, but he's a resilient little fella. He's our relentless player of the night. Time now for Ask Us Anything, brought to you by Mortgages by Maria. Rates are falling. The market's heating up. That means opportunity. Maria Gallus has the lender connections and the strategy to get you more options than the bank ever will. Don't settle for average. Check out mortgagesbymaria.ca. All right, Zubie, what are the people saying, my friend? Let's blast through. I'm not going to go too long with this, but let's blast through a few and wrap up.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly wrap up the poll, my vanity project here. How should my nickname be spelled? Zubie, the way I spell it, Zubie, 60% of the vote. Zubie, Zoobee, 15%. Zubie, Zubi, 14%. Brownies, Zubie, Szubby, 11%. It still got on the. It pushed down further. I think it was sitting higher when people had heard your explanation for it. I think people coming in late maybe voted against it. So.
Peer pressure is not going to affect me. You're still Zubie to me.
All right.
Taking a quick screenshot of this and sending it to the group so everybody gets it. All right. So the group is now all aware. All right, buddy.
All right. Let's go. Where am I going to go to first?
Do you see Tyler Plamond in there? Rob Brown looks so bored. LOL.
I don't agree with that.
Perk up, Brownie. There you go.
Kevin McCurdy, our friend Kevin McCurdy says Regula is going to bump Stetcher, I think, when Jake Wallman is back. Obviously, he's going to get that opportunity to show himself a little bit more now. What do you think of that take, Brownie?
Yeah, I agree. I've got in my depth chart, I got Regula as the number 6 defenseman for the Oilers this year.
And I think he's shown them something and stood out in a training camp where everybody, all the decision makers know Brownie. This guy barely played at all last year.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all thinking the same thing you brought up earlier tonight, which is like, holy smokes, this is where he's at. And he's played how many games in the last 15 months? Like, wow, they're very curious to see where this might go. So I think Kevin could be definitely onto something there.
Sorry, I'm just realizing I didn't highlight many hockey questions tonight, which is
Oh,
fine.
that's okay. Who cares?
Let me just see this one here. Paulie said, this is on the McDavid. There's some stuff on the McDavid contract. I know we've kind of beaten this to death and there doesn't sound like there's any news, but Paulie says, why can't we just trust that another human being when they say it will be a feeling? I do. Davo signs when he has that feeling. I bet it's a moment on the ice he decides his long-term future. I guess as a fan, I don't know, that's just the stakes are so high to have him not sign and to be lost for nothing that I believe that's, as a fan, that's what he's going to do. It's just the stakes are very high, are they not, Brownie, for a team, for an organization?
Well, I think, yeah, it is. I mean, he's their best player. He's the best player in the world. I mean, it is, when he says that, I believe that is the truth, that he's going to have a feeling. But there are people out there that are afraid that the feeling is, I'm going to play out my contract and I'm going to move on elsewhere at the end of the season. So I think that's what the fear is. Now, to me, that's not a worry until it happens. I tend not to worry about things that may or may not happen, but I agree 100%, or I'm taking his word for what it is. I'm just not certain that his word and his feeling is going to be an 8-year deal in Edmonton. And I guess that's why we're all waiting, trying to figure it out, Schauger. Are we going to have the world's greatest player, actually the world's 2 greatest players playing together for the next number of years?
I know there was intention for there to be a dialogue on Sunday. So let's just say that happened. And, a little bit of time is taken to process their way through a few things. If they're going to get it done before the start of the regular season, I mean, the decision gets made tomorrow, maybe Tuesday, and they put something out right away. It's not going to be on the game day, right? So I would eyeball Monday, Tuesday, sort of, if we're going to hear any news on this, sort of Monday, Tuesday-ish, and then it's going to be all about the team and the game on Wednesday. So we'll just see what happens. I think there was some talk, some discussion, and we'll see if anything comes from that discussion and if they're in a position to make a decision or not.
Calvin Bess coming in. Brownie, you said, we talked a little bit about this earlier, about your kind of feeling that the start of the season doesn't matter so much. Calvin Bess said, but this year, a poor start may impact the McDavid re-signing. Agree or disagree with that idea?
I disagree. I honestly, I don't know what Connor McDavid is thinking of. I don't know what's going through his mind. A 3-7 start, does that make him not want to sign here? I don't know. To me, this is a team that's gone to the Stanley Cup Finals the last 2 years. And if I look at all the teams in the Western Conference, I think this team is set up very nicely for the next couple of years. They got Connor, they got Leon, they got Bouchard, they're going to have Ekholm, they're going to have Wallman. I don't see another team that
Hyman
is significantly better. So they got Hyman, they got Nuge. Yeah. So I maybe it affects. I don't think it will, but I don't know what's in his mind.
Yeah. Well said, Brownie.
Okay, last one on this, and then we'll put a button on it. Kevin McCurdy back again. He wants to know, what's your opinion? They say, now people say it's 50-50. He leaves. What are your opinions? Opinions only here. What are your opinions, chances that Connor is, let's say, with the Oilers next year?
I believe, and we talked about it last year when Leon was about to re-sign, that Leon and Connor would talk. They're best friends. They're going to talk. There would be conversations. And Leon is not going to say, hey, are you going to sign? I'm only signing because, but there would have been conversations. I would tend to see with his best friend signing here for 8 years, I believe Connor signs here and will be playing here next year.
Yep, I believe he will be too. You want me to put a percentage on it? I mean, I'm surprised that we're at this point and there isn't a deal yet. So I'm going to kind of leave that possibility. I'm going to respect that that's happened and leave that possibility open. But if you were to say to me, like, you know, you got to put your house on this, I would say that he'll be here next season. I would put it, I don't know, I'm going to ballpark it and say 75, 80%. But let's just wait. Let's just wait and see what happens. It's kind of goofy. We'll answer the question because we were asked. But at this point, you know, saying that doesn't really mean anything. So let's see what happens. Let's see if we hear any sort of bump in the news tomorrow or Tuesday or not, and see if they're willing to open the regular season as the status quo.
Okay, a couple quick hitters here, non-hockey stuff, and then we'll get us out of here. Oh, this is kind of hockey stuff, but not relevant Oilers stuff. Dutch Evan wants to know, what are some of the funniest hockey player nicknames you've ever heard that you can say on the pod?
Yeah, obviously, some of the funniest ones you probably can't say.
Sorry. Noodles is good. Jamie McLennan's got a cool one. Good. Noodles. I like Noodles as a. Mario was ace.
There was a goalie that played in the 70s, Suitcase Smith, that guy, because he got traded so much that they called him Suitcase. And to me, that's brilliant. I don't even know his first name. Smith got traded.
The goalie played for Boston and Montreal, Red Light Rasico. Now, I'm not sure his teammates called him that, but everyone else did. So,
yeah, that is a good one, too.
I still get called because I made the mistake of telling my buddies about that story about the origins of my name and it changing. And you know, I won't go through the story here. I've told it before, but bottom line, I found out that my name means pile of rice in Norwegian, in the southern dialect, I think. And I didn't know that. We thought it meant something else. So I still have guys that call me pile of rice. Like they just call me pile of rice, and they have for years since I told them that story. So.
All right, Queen Bee Amy wants to know, of the four of you, I guess she's including that other guy in this, Strudwick, who is the most stylish dresser? I think we can eliminate him. I'll vote though. I'll give it to Shager. In part, I've never seen you dressed for game day. I don't think, Brownie, but I don't know if you step your game up. But Shager's got all these fancy game day thingies to go to, so Shager's looking good in a suit. Mate, when Struddy's on the panel at Sportsnet, looks pretty good. But overall, I gotta go. I'll give it to Shager.
Sweater vest.
To the boss.
I would go with Shager. I'm t-shirt, backwards, ball cap everywhere I can go. Now the Oilers, because I work there, I do have to get dressed up, and I'm a little more dressy. But what I'm wearing right now is what I wear almost every single day. So I would go with Shager as well.
Kayla Weethorn saying, "I like Wi-Fi for Arbor Jackeye." That's true. That's
that is a great one.
Yeah, that is
very good.
His name looks funny. Like a Wi-Fi password. That's one of the funnier ones. Sorry, not to bounce over the fake compliment you guys were just trying to give me, Zubie. I know you're sucking up because I heard last show you said I was the highest maintenance person on the show. You thought I was gone. You thought I had bounced off the show and was done for the night, and you said I'm the highest maintenance one on the show, which I have not forgotten.
I missed. You set me up for that like 5 shows ago, and I missed it. So I doubled back on it in a good way.
We call that Shager. We call that harsh but fair. Harsh but
the
fair.
Hard truths. Kayla Weethorn says Zubie always looks cute with a smiley face and red rosy cheeks. Zubie, you have an admirer.
Always trying to make me blush on here. Is it working?
Yes, you are blushing.
Yes, she's very kind. I appreciate you, Kayla. Okay, last one. Let's go to Blommer. And man, somebody came in with a great nickname for Blommer, and I've forgotten it now. I'll try to find it while you guys are answering.
Blomskinator?
No, it was something a little bit different. I'll be able to find it. Blommer wants to know, what's the best dish at Thanksgiving? We've touched on this before, but I think we talked maybe just specifically about the cranberry. So what's your favorite?
Mine is the sweet potato with the brown sugar on top and the pecans cooked on top of it. That's my favorite by far. My wife makes it, and my mom, both my wife and my mom make fantastic versions of it.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know if this is specific to Thanksgiving, but because they're kind of always around, but the pierogies. I love the pierogies. I just love the pierogies, the sour cream, always get a little bit of the cranberry sauce left to kind of eat with the pierogies. That's what I if you were to say to me, walk up to one dish to make sure you get enough before it's all gone, I would go straight to the pierogies.
Okay, Shogger, sit there for a second. Put your hand down and just don't smile. Okay, seriously, does that not look like a mugshot in his pictures? He's got his mugshot going today.
The backdrop, yeah. The backdrop is not helping you, but in this instance. It will surprise no one to know that I will go with stuffing. And I don't think my Thanksgiving meal ever has pierogies, or I probably would say
Mine
that.
neither.
That's got to change. I think that's got to change. And Paulie came in with he came in with the nickname for Blommer, the Big LeBlomski. And that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good. Nice job,
Pretty
Paulie.
good.
That was Ask Us Anything, brought to you by Maria Gallus. Excuse me. Goodness. Mortgage broker. Don't know why I didn't just use the mute button. That was quite rude of me. I've committed a terrible production foul here. Like, this is one of the most egregious errors I've ever made. We are at 100 minutes on a Sunday night off night podcast.
Struds has probably been home for an hour. He probably could have come on the show and did a whole hour of it with us.
It's 100 minutes. What are we doing? This show could have been 49 minutes, and we've meandered and stupided our way to 100 minutes. And we're wasting more talking about it. Let's get to our play of the day, brought to you by Mainline Water and Sewer, your trusted choice for over 40 years, specializing in sewer line replacement and expert water line repair and replacement. Slow drains are a sign it's time for attention, and aging lines can cause basement backups. Their trenchless method is quick, low impact, and often finished in a day, complete with backflow protection. Visit mainlinewaterandsewer.ca. Brownie, you got this one locked up, buddy. What do you got?
I do. This one was simple. If you were outside today at around 3:30, 3:40 in the afternoon, you would have heard the entire country cheering as Vladdy Guerrero Jr. took him deep, grand slam, loaded bases, and out of the park. Vladdy Jr. with a big grand slam in today's Blue Jay game. That is the play of the day.
Love it. All right, everybody. Great job, Brownie. Awesome job sitting in the big chair with no Struds available. Zubie, you were rock solid tonight despite all the curveballs I was throwing at your head late. You were solid. The stream was on fire. Lots of great contributions. Tons of fun. That was a pretty solid Sunday night show, and we'll wrap it up at 102 minutes. Thanks so much to Timber Hoss, our title sponsor, as well as all of our amazing sponsors. And yes, we don't normally do a moment of Zen here on the show, but we leave you tonight with your moment of Zen. Jason Strudwick, ladies and gentlemen. Struddy.
Yeah, get no respect.
Mars Boy says, so bulky.
Lots of people were saying they thought he looked pretty jacked in that shirt, but it's an odd angle.